So I'm Shane McAnally. I'm the executive chef here.
I'm Chris Richard. I'm the sales and hospitality director here.
I'm Evan Castro, and I'm the sous chef here.
Yay!
We did it. You want to tell me a little bit about where we're at?
So if most of you guys don't know who we are, we're Brickler Vineyards. We are a small family vineyard winery in Rush River Valley, Windsor, California. And, we do about close to 14 different labels of wine. I would say almost about 11 varietals different, which is really fun. We're fairly new for a lot of people. Our grand opening was last year, right in May during COVID time. Never really got to have a big party, but eventually one day we'll have to have a party.
Yeah.
Because I'm dying to have a party. We're 40 acres here in Rush River Valley where we grow Chardonnay and Pinot. We have a second vineyard in Fountain Grove, Santa Rosa, towards Calistoga Hills right there, almost the highest point of the hills. It's called Cake Ranch Vineyards. And at Cake Ranch, we do a lot of the more Rhone varietals and Bordeaux style. So Cab, Cab Franc, Petit Syrah, Syrah, Sauv Blanc, Viognier, Grenache. We're planting Zin, Mourvedre, and Merlot. So we got a lot of really cool, amazing reds coming out for the future.
Cab coming out pretty soon.
We have a brand new cab coming out, which took a really amazing award.
Didn't we get a pretty big award with that too?
I won't say we're gonna surprise everybody with the award we got on the cab. But it's our first vintage of cab, and it's gonna be really fun. Going to be released in the June Wine Club shipment, so keep an eye out for that. I'm very excited. But tonight we are doing our Estate Chardonnay with the Chicken Milanese,
Yes,
and we've Milanese. I just say French way, so.
Frenchy.
I am Frenchy. Anyways, our Estate Chardonnay, all estate grown right here on the property. When you think Russian River, you think Chardonnay and Pinot. For a Chardonnay, this is definitely one of our heavier Chardonnay styles. It is barrel aged 10 months, all French oak. It goes through a phase of 40% new oak, 60% neutral oak. Full malolactic fermentation that goes through it. So, it's not a big butterball style Chardonnay. It's got the butterscotch, got the caramel flavors. It is a little bit heavier up front, but it still has a crisp and actually really clean finish to it. A lot of lemon, vanilla notes on the finish. I would say it's great with pasta dishes. It's great with chicken dishes.
The sauce, I think the sauce is really
the sauce is what really elevates it. Yeah. So my favorite pairing is maybe one day we'll do scallops on the show.
Oh.
I think it would be amazing. But if you've never had scallops in an oakier style Chardonnay, it is absolutely mind blowing. So, anyways, what are we cooking, Chef?
Gonna cook some chicken Milanese. We gotta drink some Chardonnay.
I'm
Cheers,
gonna pour you.
man. Let's go.
I know, he's thirsty. We've been working all day, busy tasting today. Had a great day, typical Saturday here.
Yeah, lots of sip and savors.
And
I set the glasses here.
So let's give everybody a beautiful toast.
Cheers, everybody. Thank you for joining us.
Here.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it.
Cheers, everybody. Cheers.
Drink what you got.
Cool. You guys got this. I'll be the camera guy now.
Sounds good.
Bye.
Thanks, Chris.
Have fun, Chris. We'll miss
All
you.
right. So
So
this
what's
is one of my favorite recipes.
I was gonna say this is a good one.
I worked in a restaurant in Oakland for 5 years, Garibaldi's, and this was a dish that was on the menu the entire time I was there. And I have cooked a lot of chicken Milanese.
Yeah, you're telling me all the stories and some of the fun things you used to do with chicken Milanese.
And how I burned it and hurt myself.
Yeah.
So the first thing we're going to do is we have our chicken breasts. So it's about a pound. Ours came in 2 pieces in that pound. These are quite large. So we're going to cut these and then we're going to pound them out a little bit. I've got plastic wrap on our boards and we're using gloves just so we don't, cross-contaminate, and it makes it a lot cleaner. We don't got to switch out our boards halfway through. Just a little easier. So
could you use chicken thighs instead of breasts if you want to do this recipe, like with a different type of
thighs would work.
Tenders.
Chicken tenders.
I love chicken tenders.
I know you
I don't
do.
know why.
your face lit up with chicken tenders. I've never seen you be that happy. I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, you just want chicken tenders all the time, don't you?
I do.
You're a chicken nugget guy, aren't you?
I like the tenders. They're nice. Especially when you barbecue, I love because they're easier to cook and they marinate a lot better that way. Anyways.
All right. So you can see like mine, for example, are very different thicknesses. So what we're trying to get is a even thickness on the whole thing. So I'm gonna cut both of these in half, and when I say cut in half, we're going like butterfly, like this way. So this one that is thinner, we're not gonna have to pound as much because it's already gonna be pretty thin. Whereas this one is gonna have to get pounded quite a bit because it is a lot thicker. But we're just looking for a uniformity in the thickness so that when we start cooking these, they all cook at the same time. And you don't have some that are finishing up before the others are done because nobody likes medium rare chicken.
So when you're cutting this chicken, are you doing like with your knife, are you doing like a sawing motion? Or are you doing like long strokes?
I'm doing, long strokes. We just sharpened our knife. So at home, you might need to go take a couple swipes at it. But as you can see, like this one's pretty much there as far as the thickness. Like that's about where we want the final product. So there's a couple spots on this breast where it's a little thicker than others, so we'll hit that a little bit. But then on this one, it's way thick, and so we want to pound this out, and it'll make it a little bit bigger. But it'll also make it so they're all nice and even size.
Harry has a comment. He says, so the pounding is more for the thickness and less for making it tender?
Yeah, I mean, it does make it tender too. It's 2 in 1, but I mean, chicken breasts aren't, if we're doing thighs, when you pound thighs, that's more about tenderization. And honestly, the marinade we're putting this in, it's only going to sit in marinade for about 10 minutes while we prep everything else. But like if we were doing this in a restaurant setting where we're doing it consistently, the marinade would be like an overnight process. And that marinade has some buttermilk in it, and that really helps with the tenderization and keeping it juicy. So ideally, if you're going to make this recipe again, I would do this step and the marinating maybe the night before or even the morning of. It'll make it a lot more flavorful. You get a little more tender, and like I said, it makes it nice and juicy.
Juicier too, and everything. Yeah.
It's stressful, right? I mean, pounding.
Yeah, no, it's
you've dealt with me all day. You're pissed. You're mad.
Yeah. Chris has been messing with us all day.
I have,
Fire pizza, fire chicken sandwich. Yes.
Grilled cheese sandwich.
Yep.
What's Toto?
So we're using a empty wine bottle because there's never a short of empty wine bottles at my house. You can use a mallet as well. If you're doing the mallet, I wouldn't use the spiky side. That's going to tear it up a little bit too much. You want to be pretty gentle with this. Like we're just trying to get it nice and even. You don't want to. If you pound it too hard, it'll start to tear, and we don't want that.
The first time I've ever used a wine bottle as a meat mallet.
Clearly, you don't drink enough.
No, I don't.
Don't be shy, Evan.
I mean, I'm getting the caps coming off.
What kind of bottle do you have there?
I've got our Flying by the Seat of Our Pants Rosé Grenache.
Oh, that's a great choice. Great choice.
I believe it is our 2019 vintage.
Yeah.
See, I like something with a little bit more crisp. I'm going with our Sauvignon Blanc from Kid Ranch.
A little bit more crisp. Yes.
A little more crisp.
Okay.
It's a crisp.
This is a really versatile recipe. You can do a lot of different things with this.
You can do pork with this, right?
Yeah, pork is great. Veal. Veal is very classic. I've done vegetarian versions. My wife doesn't eat meat, and so we've done eggplant. I don't pound out the eggplant, but I've breaded it the same way and fried it and done it with the sauce, and it's really nice.
Good.
It's very similar to like a piccata, right? Like if we didn't bread this, we did some salmon fillet, did the same sauce over salmon. That's really the sauce on this. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward, but it's a fun one to put on different things.
Mushrooms would probably be good with this sauce, right?
Yeah,
Like portobello mushrooms.
Yeah, mushrooms would be killer. I'd say we're about pretty even. Quarter inch?
I would say so, yeah.
So we don't want it too thin, otherwise it's just going to kind of dry out and you're going to be all crust. You want to have that nice balance of having enough chicken where it's going to be, you're going to be able to keep it juicy. So let's leave it in the plastic for now, and we'll get our marinade.
Just going to put that off the side.
So the marinade is going to be a cup of buttermilk, which, like I said, it helps with tenderization. as well as keeping it nice and juicy. We're gonna put a tablespoon, sorry, 2 tablespoons of Dijon mustard. Gives it a little tang, and this marinade too. If you've been tuning in long enough, we did this with something else.
We did pork Milanese, I'm pretty sure with this.
Oh yeah, last year we did pork.
Yeah, that was one of the first quarantine kitchens.
This marinade also works really well for like a schnitzel.
Yeah.
We used to do
Schnitzel at the last round.
yeah, schnitzel the sandwich, and it was the same marinade, and it's really good with we did pork loin. That was a really good
What
one.
exactly is schnitzel?
It's basically
Fermented meat.
a German version of this.
Oh, okay.
It's a pounded out pork or chicken. Usually you'll do it with like a mustard sauce, lemon, and some spatzel.
Yeah.
So then we're gonna do 1 egg, and this just kind of helps bind everything together. And then we're gonna whisk this all together. Let's put a little salt in here. It's like a heavy pinch. I'd say like a half a teaspoon. You don't have salt?
Are those our eggs from our pop?
I don't think these are. Somebody snagged them all.
Oh, I wonder.
Saw one of the guests, walking around with an egg basket.
Well, Mark likes to send everybody out there.
Yeah. I was like, oh, they got
I'm
some
gonna
eggs.
start charging $1 for every crate.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are we charging for that?
All right, so now we're gonna put this in our marinade. And like I said, if you make this again, or this is something that would be great to do earlier in the day, if not the night before. What's that?
How's everybody doing over there?
How are we doing on timing? Is everybody keeping up?
Thumbs up if you're doing good. Thumbs down if we need a little extra time. Also, if you guys don't know, if you have any questions or anything, please type it into the chat box. Taylor's over on the computer right now, and she's answering and letting us know if any questions are needed.
So yeah, at this point, like if this was the night before, I would just wrap this whole bowl in plastic, throw it in your fridge.
Yeah.
I put them in one at a time, and then I kind of made sure that they were all separated. You don't want to get it where you just kind of dump it all in there and you have 2 pieces of chicken stick together, because then you won't get that marinade on half of it. So really make sure that each part of the chicken is coated in the marinade. It's really important.
Would you recommend only marinating this for 10 minutes, or would you recommend marinating it longer? Overnight?
We just said that it would go good longer.
Yeah, ideally this is done earlier in the day,
Overnight,
later.
12 to 24 hours. It's okay, Taylor.
I'm sure someone else was wondering.
I'm sure you're totally right. I mean, I think we should cheers at this point.
I agree.
Cheers, everybody.
Take a break, drink some Chardonnay.
Take a little sip.
Sharon's here. What's up, Sharon?
Sharon's always here. What are you so surprised about?
What are we doing next?
We have
Making the
the highballs,
vinaigrette?
too. Yeah, let's make our vinaigrette, and then make our sauce after that.
Sounds good to me.
Like
So, for the vinaigrette, this is a real simple one. We are going to do just a really simple red wine vinaigrette. So we have a 1/4 cup of red wine vinegar.
We're all just going into your bowl, right?
Oh yeah, you don't need. We'll just make mine.
You'll just make yours.
Oh, you can do it too. Here, give me everything except for. We're just gonna make one salad because
Question
that's what we're
Yeah.
doing.
from James: what is a good buttermilk substitute? It says heavy cream plus sour cream? Question mark.
Ooh, that's a good one. I was gonna say just heavy cream by itself.
Yeah, but you need some acid. I would maybe with a little bit of sour cream in there.
Little cream and lemon juice.
Yeah, maybe a little lemon juice. Okay, so we got
Cream
but
and
buttermilk really is
sour cream.
a pretty key ingredient in making this. But yeah, I think if you don't, maybe some sour cream, a combination of sour cream, milk, and cream. I think if you don't,
Hey, I was gonna say
not a little milk, you're gonna
milk
get
in
too
there.
thick.
Maybe like a tablespoon or something like that.
Yeah. So we're going dry oregano. So we've got half a teaspoon dry oregano, 1/4 cup of red wine vinegar, and then we're doing a teaspoon of Dijon. And this just kind of helps form the emulsification. We're going to whisk in some olive oil, and the mustard kind of helps hold it together.
Looks like you're shaking a little bit. I know it's hard to hold that laptop up.
Why is he talking smack?
I don't know. I don't know if I had the urge to even say that.
Really just
mean, usually he's on the other side here, you know, it took him long.
All right.
He just misses me, that's all.
So we're just whisking this together. We're gonna do. Where did you take my salt now?
No, it's right here in the middle for both of us. Sharing is caring, Chef. Come on.
Sharon's on the call.
I said sharing is caring. But
And then
Sharon is on the call, yes.
We're gonna whisk in our olive oil. This is half a cup. And this is like a really simple, basic kind of, almost like Italian salad dressing, right? Like,
Yeah.
You do a job. And if it's not gonna, stay fully emulsified, so just before we use it, we'll whisk it again.
Could you do this in like the blender, the food processor?
Yeah,
like,
if you did this in the blender and you threw like a little chunk of onion, then you'll get that emulsification will hold like rock solid.
Okay.
But this
Maybe
I just
like
want
a
to
shallot
sip
or
this.
something?
Yeah, like a shallot or a little bit of even like red onion,
Yeah, yeah.
and you blend that into it, and that combined with the mustard kind of helps
Really?
everything hold together.
Bind it all into
Yeah. Okay, so dressings off to the side. We got our chicken and marinade. Let's prep out our sauce.
Sauce next. Yeah.
Any questions? How's everyone doing?
Terry just asked, if it's not whisked gradually, what happens? Does it get clumpy?
Well, so you whisk it in slowly, and it kind of it stays emulsified for a little bit. So it's not something like an aioli where you're gonna get it nice and creamy because we don't have any egg yolk or anything besides the mustard. But
Yeah.
whisking it in slowly will form a loose emulsification where it won't separate as much. There is no lemon juice in the dressing.
Perfect.
The lemon is going to be in the sauce. Making sure I didn't mess that up. Yeah, lemon is in the sauce. So now we are going to start by cutting a shallot for our sauce. And so just taking the top and bottom off the shallot.
Oh, it's Naomi.
Hi, Naomi.
She was there for a second.
We're going to cut this in half lengthwise. And then we're going to peel off this outside layer of skin.
And it's just one shallot, not
One
two.
shallot, correct.
And so why shallot instead of onion?
It's just a little more intense flavor. You don't have to use it as much. A lot of times you use shallots in reduction sauces like this. And now what we're going to do is we're going to cut into the shallot almost all the way through.
Oh, we have a question. We have a black truffle that we need to use.
Ooh,
Would it
oh,
go
that's a
good
good
with
problem.
this chicken?
Yes. I mean, there's few things you can't put black truffles on and make taste good. I think it'd be really good with the sauces. That sauce would be killer with truffles.
I was gonna say, would you put it in the sauce or would you just shave it over the top?
I would just go over the top.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I would take some of the trimmings and throw it in the sauce and then shave it over the top.
Philip, where'd you get a black truffle from?
Did you get it off of Amazon?
Yeah, that was sweet.
They're all that. Yeah.
We got it from Truffle Shuffle. I don't know if you know that. Do you know
No.
truffles?
Where's that?
It's kind of what you guys do, but we do it with truffles, and they send you. So we pay for it. We pay for all the ingredients, but they send 2 big truffles, and we had one left over for whatever we made. But
Awesome.
yeah,
What did you do with the first one?
what
Filet
is-
mignon?
filet mignon and lobster.
Did you air fry your filet mignon?
No, we didn't. Air fry.
Some people would do.
Nobody here was on that call.
I know, but I'm sure.
We were actually
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I would absolutely put some truffle on this chicken Milanese. It's delicious.
so in the sauce too. Or just-
Yeah, you have a lot left. You have a whole truffle.
Yeah,
It's about a half actually.
but it's pretty good size, a marble size.
I would grate a little bit at the end, like not at the beginning, because
Yeah.
you don't kill the flavor if you put it in early. At the very end, right before you sauce the chicken, grate some into the sauce, and then also grate some over the top of the whole dish.
Okay, cool.
Thank you.
Awesome.
shallots come in various sizes. Approximately how much are
These are relatively medium-sized shallots, so it's going to be about
2 tablespoons?
2 to 3 tablespoons. Yeah.
And then we had another question, comment for you guys and for Philip from Toby. It says maybe you should skip the capers if you use the truffle. Would you recommend that, or keep the truffles in the stock?
Well, that's a good call. Yeah, I think that's a good advice. Do more of like a lemon truffle sauce. I don't think the capers would hurt it. What do you think?
I don't think it would hurt it at all.
I would lean towards leaving the capers in.
Another tip too for Philip for putting the truffles in the sauce, if you peel your truffle with a potato peeler and just take that outer skin, then chop that up and throw it into your sauce, you can throw that in and then use the rest of it to shave over the top, and it gives you more of the inner goodness of the truffle.
Good call.
I learned that in a
I like that.
restaurant that I worked at before.
Very cool. So we're gonna cook our sauce now. Do you want to bring the computer over, Christopher?
I'm gonna follow you here,
Cameraman. Well, we're gonna cut our lemon in half too, so we have that ready because that's gonna finish our sauce. And then let me make sure I'm doing this right.
We need our cream. We need our
since there's nobody that.
butter.
You're doing great. I like this. Hi, everybody. Yeah. So we've got
like a real camera person.
We've got a small pot that we're gonna get over medium high. About a teaspoon of. We're using some grapeseed oil.
Is everyone able to hear us over here?
Is the audio still all right?
Okay. Thumbs up if you can hear us. Thumbs down if you can't.
Okay.
Thumbs up.
Thank you.
All right. Cool.
I got you.
All right. So I'm gonna
Teamwork here.
First thing we're gonna do is cook our shallot.
Oh, thank you for the grapes.
Sharing is caring. So we're gonna add our shallot, and this is because we chopped it nice and fine. This should go pretty quick. We're also putting a sprig of thyme in here. You could take the leaves off and chop it up. I like just leaving it whole, and then we can just pluck this out before we're done with the sauce. So this process is gonna go pretty quick. The shallots, because they are cut so small, we're just trying to get them to start releasing some of their flavor. I'm gonna put a little bit of salt. That'll help bring out some of the moisture that's inside the shallot. It brings out the water, and then that helps cook them down a little bit faster.
Just a pinch, right?
Just a pinch.
You're just trying to get color on this, right?
Yeah, you don't want any color. So if you start to brown your shallots, just turn it down a little bit. You just want to get it so they get kind of translucent, which is going to happen pretty quick.
After the shallots, what did you add?
A sprig of thyme.
And a pinch of salt.
And a little bit of salt to bring out the moisture in the shallot. You know that translucent is a superhero?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. For who?
It's in the Marvel world, I believe.
It's fine.
Dude, there's a lot of superheroes I've never heard of. My son has a book. It's like an encyclopedia of superheroes.
Can you bring that in for me?
No, Jackie would miss it.
It's a new series.
That's what. No, I'm wrong. That's what it says. Yeah.
What's it called? What's the
The Boys.
The Boys.
Yeah.
That's
I mixed it up. It's not Marvel.
Thank you, Chase. I knew it was like I was trying to figure out
Wait,
where
are
it
you
came
getting
from.
mixed up from your superhero?
My
show
son
you've
definitely
watched?
did not watch The Boys.
I was like, you better not have.
What are you told me about that? That's fine.
I think I turned on one clip and I was like, Michael, go to bed.
All right, so you can see they're kind of turning that clear. So now what we're going to do is add our wine. We're using a nice dry, some of our Sauvignon Blanc.
And do you take the time out later on?
Yeah, the thyme's going to stay in while we make our sauce, so we get all the flavor that we can from the thyme, and then we'll pick it out at the end. I know it's a really simple sauce, and this is a fun one to use because it's very satisfying. It's not a lot of ingredients. You don't have to spend a ton of money to get everything. It's like Snickers.
Yeah. Satisfy your hunger.
And then we're gonna go. We got cream.
Yeah. It's in
How much wine?
4 ounces of wine.
Yeah, 4 ounces, half a cup of wine. And then we have, is it just a tablespoon?
Yeah, it's just a tablespoon of cream.
So once our wine cooks down, we're gonna add in our heavy cream. It's a tablespoon of heavy cream. And that just helps it, so when we start whisking in our butter, it helps hold that butter together in the sauce so it doesn't separate out. Yeah, I think it's the Chardonnay break time, huh?
Mhm.
Oh man, did you refill me, Chris?
I did.
Wine angels. Before we finish the sandwiches.
That's really cute.
I have to admit, the sandwich. Everybody loved that grilled cheese today.
We sold a lot of food today.
That grilled cheese is amazing.
Yeah, for everybody at home, if you didn't know, we did change our a la carte menu here at the property. We have a brand new grilled cheese sandwich that we just rolled out yesterday. Was it?
Yesterday.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, yesterday. It's a 3-cheese grilled cheese with fontina cheddar and some truffle goat cheese and a nice side salad with it. You can add prosciutto on there too if you want
Miss the
to.
prosciutto part.
I would not miss the prosciutto part. Don't worry, Chris.
And what really makes it so good is this bread we're using. We're partnered up with a local bakery in Forestville called Nightingale.
Great bakery.
Oh my God! We've been getting their baguettes for years, but we've just started getting this sliced sourdough it's a seeded sourdough, and it just makes the best grilled cheese sandwich.
Yeah, that was 3 compliments I got was the bread quality.
And we also have a new salad on the menu too for anyone that wants to come check that out.
Yeah, Farmer Mikey, who tends to our gardens here, is currently pulling out a bunch of different brassicas. So we got broccoli, romanesco, cauliflower. So Country and I worked on a salad with that is currently on the menu with a little curry vinaigrette. I think it's going over pretty well too.
And Sauvignon Blanc soaked raisins. Don't forget about that.
Oh yeah, that's the most important part.
Very important part.
Secret ingredient.
Yeah.
So we're just cooking this till you get to sec, is what they say, which is dry. You don't want to take it so that you start to burn your shallots, but you want to get it so there's very, very little liquid left. And all you're doing is you're constantly flavor. So when we start adding our butter, it's the base of our sauce right here. Does it make it go faster when you move your pan around like that?
A little bit.
Does it?
I mean, yeah, I think so.
We're getting close. This is a sauce that you can definitely doctor up. Like if you're feeling spicy, you can put a little red pepper flake in here.
Spicy.
We're gonna add our capers in a minute after we get the butter emulsified. But I think we're about ready to add our cream. So you can see
I think I'm right there.
pretty dry. You don't have a whole lot of liquid left in there. So we're gonna add our tablespoon of heavy cream. And this, I'm gonna turn my heat way down. You don't need to reduce your cream because it's just a tablespoon, so there's not really, you don't want to reduce it too much because then your butter will break. So I'm going to pull it off the heat, and then we've got our, 3 ounces?
3 ounces of butter, unsalted and cubed.
3 ounces of unsalted butter. And we're just going to put it in a little cube at a time and kind of go back over the heat. But you don't want it too hot. If it's too hot and you start like boiling your butter, it's going to break and make the sauce look really greasy. So you just this process, you want to go nice and slow. Just adding a second cube of butter as the first one is melting into the sauce. I'll go ahead and pull out my time now. I think it's time.
Ha ha ha! That's a good one, Chef.
Country.
That's me.
Yeah, this is a basic technique for a whole array of like the French sauces too, like beurre blancs and stuff. You do a white wine reduction, splash of cream to help hold everything together, and then whisk in your butter. I used to work for a chef, and we would make a big master batch of a sauce very similar to this, and then we take it off and add different flavors to it. Like we had 4 different flavors of blanc for different dishes. We had a saffron for our scallop dish. We would put a green pea puree into one for like a spring lamb. Roasted red pepper added to another one. It's a very versatile sauce. This is more just the lemon caper, but there's a lot you can do with this sauce.
Hey chef, are you on medium heat right now?
I'm on low heat.
Low heat?
Yeah. I turned it down, and I'm kind of playing with it, even taking it off, because you don't want to boil this. So you want this to be you want to get it warm, but you don't want it to simmer, because if you start to simmer, you'll have a chance of breaking it. I mean, the cream should help so that you don't break it, because the cream kind of helps hold everything together. But if you do get like over way high heat, it has a tendency to want to break.
Going back to the master sauce and everything, could you add a little bit of like whole grain mustard into this maybe?
Yeah, mustard would be delicious.
Do like a little mustard sauce like we've done for some dinner series.
Yeah.
I think we've got that coming up on a future dinner series.
Is that right? Mustard sauce?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we do.
Might be the Spring Founders Club dinner.
I think you were right.
All right, so you can see it's nice and creamy. All the butter has melted in, nice and thick. We're gonna, it's almost a little too thick, but we're adding our lemon juice now. So we've got the juice of 1 lemon that we're gonna squeeze into this. And again, we're over low heat, very, very low. You know what? For this amount, I think half a lemon's fine. We got big lemons, so this is, I would try just going 1 and then add in our capers. And then we'll taste this for salt,
Are you putting the liquid from the capers in there, or these?
No, these are drained off.
Drained off. No liquid from the capers in the sauce.
No.
Did you add a little of the liquid in there? I mean, would it add a little bit of a brininess and saltiness to it?
It would. It would, country. We're going to put the whole lemon in. I changed my mind after tasting the sauce. It needs that whole lemon.
It completes the sauce.
And then mine needs a pinch of salt. So we put a little bit of salt in with the shallots.
You have a comment.
Yes.
Says that you're doing it a little differently from the recipe. The recipe said to add the capers before the butter.
Huh.
And how much total butter was included in your sauce?
3 ounces.
3 ounces.
Yep.
You could do, to go back to the comment, you could do it either way with the capers. You can add it in before the butter. If you do add it in before the butter, it is going to kind of cook your capers a little bit and get them a little crispy, I feel like, and kind of give them a little fried in a way. Would you not agree with that?
No, I think when we put it, it was after the wine, before the butter. So I don't think it would get fried.
You don't think so?
No.
Get a little sauteed though.
Okay.
All right.
So we're done with the sauce. Now it's time to bread our chicken. So Chris, you can come on back over, please. Right.
Well, you don't want to be in the
No,
shot,
I
Taylor?
don't. I don't.
Come on.
Moving right along.
How's
Halfway
everyone?
there.
Yeah, how's everyone doing?
How are we doing on timing? Should we take a wine break or are we good?
Should we take a cheers break? I think we should do a cheers break,
I
shot.
don't think you should ever ask for a wine break. You should just do it.
Just do it.
Is there a recipe with the method? Hers just has the ingredients.
There should be.
There's the recipe with the method on the blog.
I don't think the method is actually on that link you just.
It is.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Hey, it's Santa Neil.
Sweet. What's up, Santa?
How you doing, Neil? Good to see you, man. Hey, it is.
All
I like
right.
the chef's hat there, Neil.
Looking good. So now we're gonna bread our chicken.
All right.
We got in the recipe I said a cup of panko. You can do it with that. I think we have closer to like a cup and a half. Just I was worried it wasn't gonna be enough. So if you have a little extra, we're gonna do actually a cup and a half. Just I was worried that we weren't gonna have enough breadcrumbs to fully.
And we're not processing this in the food processor.
No, you can. This
Panko?
is kind of rustic. So this is panko. A more refined version. You could pulse these in your Roboku or your food processor.
Yeah.
So it gets nice and fine. But I mean, we're just keeping it kind of rustic and simple. So to this, we're gonna add what is it? Half a cup?
Half a cup of Parmesan.
Half a cup of Parmesan cheese. And we're gonna season this with a teaspoon of salt and some freshly cut pepper. And just kind of mix that through.
I like lots of pepper in mine.
I see that.
I'm with you.
Thank you.
I like that.
I knew you'd agree with me on that.
Maybe if we were drinking Pinot.
Maybe a little Zen.
There you go. Just want to make sure it's
Was this
nice.
dish?
What's that?
Not for this dish.
No.
No. The Chardonnay is the perfect kind for this dish.
Absolutely.
I mean, Pinot could work with it.
I'm just saying with pepper.
Chardonnays.
So now we're gonna get a glove on.
Glove. Got you large?
What's that supposed to be?
I just wanted to make sure you weren't getting medium gloves.
So we're gonna take our chicken out of the marinade. You don't need to pat it dry. You want some of that buttermilk mixture on there because that's what's gonna help the breadcrumbs stick. So just let it drip a little bit, and then right into the crumbs and cheese. And the best way to do this is keep a wet hand and a dry hand. It just makes it a lot easier so you don't end up clumping up all your breadcrumbs.
Clumping.
Oh wow, look at Chase. He already
Whoa,
Chase
Chase
is done.
he has,
Yeah.
to, he has to go early tonight, but
That looks great, Chase.
show off.
You just want to make sure it's completely coated in the
You
crumb
said
mix.
panko, parm, and what else?
Salt and pepper.
Salt and pepper.
Hey Chase, congratulations on your wines at Chronicle.
Yeah, I saw that, man. Good job. And we're just gonna put these onto a plate, and that way it'll be easy to go cook them.
Couple questions. One said, should we heat the oil?
You can start heating it. I mean, you don't want to burn it though, so I would give it a minute.
And then Naomi had a comment. She said, if anyone is lactose intolerant, you can use whipped egg whites instead of the buttermilk.
Ah, very nice.
Thanks, Naomi. All right. It's a lot like the schnitzel. Reminds me of Frass right now.
Yep. Just breaded fried protein.
So good.
Can
Should we,
we bake these instead?
I like maybe like if you spray it with some like hand spray, I would just be worried that the crust would get a little dried out.
Okay.
What do you think?
I was gonna say I feel like you could do this baked. You just check your temperature and yeah, like Chef was saying, make sure you spray it with nonstick so it doesn't stick and everything.
What would you bake it at?
I'd bake it at like 400. If you've got convection oven, turn the convection on. I think that would really help.
For how long?
About, I would say what, like 10 minutes, if that?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, air frying this would be really good too if you have an air fryer at home. I really.
Oh, yeah. Air fryer sounds like an idea, maybe.
Yeah, I would use an air fryer. I have one at my house, and it's really cool.
Can we find a way to mention the air fryer in every episode?
Yeah,
Is it like a status
I'm
thing? Like,
going
I've got
to.
an air fryer.
I'm definitely going to.
You do. You mention it all the time. I'm very happy for your air fryer.
Thank you. You should check one out sometime.
Yeah, I'm good.
It'll change your life, Chef.
It's black magic, man. I don't know how those things do what they do.
I don't know either, but it does it great.
We don't have time to really cook sometimes. Like, it's a good way to just throwing it in. I mean, like a lot of times, like Michael likes some little pizza bread things. I literally throw it in the air fryer and in like 8 minutes it's like done.
Wow.
It's incredible.
Oh, see, that's why you don't pound your chicken so aggressively.
Did you break?
It broke.
Oh no!
It's okay. They'll still cook the same. It's just gonna be now. I got 5 pieces instead of 4.
You just got
Silver
extra pieces.
linings.
Yeah,
Silver
exactly.
linings.
Should we talk a little bit about our new menu that's coming out for the Sip and Savor next week for everyone?
Yeah. So if you've been to the winery, if you've had the experience of checking out our Sip and Savor, which is our 6 bites with 6 wines, we've been running the current menu since we opened back up. So what was that, maybe like a month?
Yeah, I mean, the problem, the current menu, we were going to release it. It was end of November, and we were going to do it for 2 months. So we had to cut it short, unfortunately. So
Yeah,
we really
so-
had really a month now.
We got a new one coming out on Friday that we've been messing with some of the recipes, and I'm really excited about it. Why don't you tell us about what's your favorite course? Let's not give away the whole thing. What's your favorite pairing on there?
I'm going to say what it is, second course.
I'm gonna say
Second
that.
course across the board.
Yeah, the second
I mean,
course
the
as well.
2 pairings on the second serving.
I'm saying the
Chardonnay-
second bite on the first course is gonna be my favorite.
Especially with the being 8.
Yeah, we're doing.
I'm thinking.
We'll give a little sneak peek. So the Viognier, we're doing.
Yeah, I'm thinking with the.
Sorry,
We have a quick
I'm going
question.
second course first. Bud.
Yeah.
They added too much lemon to their sauce. How can we tame down the acidity?
Add a little bit more butter.
Add more butter.
Just put it over low heat and whisk in a little bit more butter. That'll help balance out that acid. Fat helps balance acid. Same with like a vinaigrette. If you have too much vinegar, you just add a little more oil, and that helps balance it out. So we've got our chicken breaded. Are you about there?
I'm just about there. Mine, I pounded mine too hard too, so I have 5 pieces. As well.
Oh, were you?
Couldn't be
Was
alone.
it
Wanted to
a
copy.
little jealous?
A little, yeah, I had a little
You saw-
jealousy.
yeah, I
I
get
saw
it.
yours, and I was like, you know what, I gotta do that to mine too. So,
I get it.
yeah.
All right, Chris.
Yep.
Back over here.
Cool.
Wow. Get back over here, Chris.
It's cooking time.
You ready?
We're ready for you,
Come.
Chris. Come on back, buddy.
So we are using non-stick pans. I've done this recipe in the past without adding the cheese into the. You good? You see how it doesn't reach? All right. I've done this.
Can we cut the chicken smaller?
Yeah, absolutely. You can make chicken strips and you make Chris very happy.
Chicken tenders.
So we're gonna put our pan over medium high heat. I can't remember. Does it say? Yeah, we're gonna use olive oil to cook this in. Here, I got one here. So we're gonna do about a 1/4 cup of olive oil, and we're using a non-stick because of the cheese in the breading. Has a tendency to want to stick in a regular pan. You can absolutely do it in a regular stainless pan. You just need to make sure you get your pan hot enough so that your breading doesn't stick. But we're just gonna play it safe. We've got a 1/4 cup of olive oil. You want to have enough in there. If your pan's a little bit bigger, I do a little bit more than a 1/4 cup because you want to have a good layer. It's basically like a shallow fry that we're doing on this. And obviously we're going to have to work in batches because our pan is only so big and the chicken is quite large.
No.
So you can see like as the oil starts to heat up, it gets less viscous. Yeah, less viscous, a little shiny. We'll start to see some wisps of smoke. That's when we want to start cooking. You want to make sure I'm there. So we're gonna go turn our pan down just a touch.
Could you use canola oil or like vegetable oil or
Yeah.
seed oil if you were frying this? Like,
Yeah, you can really. I for this dish in particular, I like the flavor of the olive oil.
Okay.
And we're not using like our estate bricoleur olive oil for this. This is something more of a cooking grade olive oil that you're not going to use your $40 olive oil to cook with.
Yeah, you don't want to use.
It's just wasting your nice oil. So we're doing.
The nice oil should be saved for finishing your steaks and fishes and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
And your stuff.
Pastas.
Pastas, yeah, pastas.
But you want to keep it at a decent heat. This should cook relatively quickly. Like I said, it's a shallow fry, so you are, there is a decent amount of oil in there.
Yeah. Be careful when flipping it so you don't want to burn yourself.
Yep. Good point.
I've got a pair of tongs here for you.
Cool. So you can see the edges around the outside starting to get golden brown. We can kind of cheat and peek. Not quite there. You want to get nice, even golden brown on the whole side before we flip it. You don't want to mess with it too much. If you mess with it too much, you're more apt to have some of that breading fall off. You don't want that to happen.
You want the breading to stay on. That's the whole.
That's it.
That's the whole game. We'll talk about a little bit of the dinner series coming up too. I mean, we've got one on March 20th, right?
Yeah, March 20th, we kick off our 2021 dinner series. We're doing a loosely Irish-themed one. It's right after St. Paddy's Day on March 20th. We're going to start, first course is going to be a potato leek soup with some black truffles. Then we're going to do a rye pumpernickel spaghetti with some corned beef and cabbage. And then we're going to our traditional lamb stew for the entree. And I think mine are about ready to flip, so I'm going to look at this. You can use tongs like I'm doing, or if you eat country, he's got a spatula. You want to flip it away from yourself. So if it does you know, if you drop it in there too much, it's gonna push the oil that way and not towards you. When I was telling Country earlier, one of the worst burns I've ever had was cooking this dish, and I didn't flip it away from myself. I flipped it towards myself, and I just got a handful of hot oil.
Yeah, that's not fun.
Not a good time. You see that nice golden brown? That's what we're looking for. We can go ahead and season this up a little bit. Just a little bit of salt. Like we got salt in all the layers, right? There's salt in the breading. There's salt in the marinade. So you don't want to go crazy. You just want to get a nice, a little bit to get that finishing. And that's good. We got golden brown on both sides. We'll go ahead and pull this first batch out. Almost. And we're going to go in with our next round.
Are we adding more oil?
Yeah, you just got to kind of play with you. Play
with ear.
Play by ear.
Like
play it by ear. I lost my words there for a second. I apologize. Yeah, you want to make sure you still have that layer of oil in the pan. So add a little bit more because as you cook them, they kind of start to soak up some of that oil a little bit, right?
Yeah. You don't want to overcrowd the pan too much, right? Like,
yeah, it'll cool the pan down. They'll start to stick. Our ovens are off, but they're warm. So I'm just going to use that as a holding spot. So these stay warm. So if you have your oven, you can turn that just to like a warming setting.
Yeah.
And it just keeps it so everything stays nice and warm.
We have yoga and brunch coming back too on March 28th, right?
Yeah, yoga and brunch starts 2 weeks, and that's gonna be fun. We got
a good one.
What's the menu on that?
That's the crudité with the beef hummus. Crudité, all the vegetables for the crudité are coming from the garden. The second one is our shakshuka, and
avocado toast.
Avocado toast for the second, and then the shakshuka for the third.
Which shakshuka is what?
It's
in baked egg.
Yeah, and a spicy tomato sauce.
Right, spicy or spice? It's not like the one we're doing anyways. It's not gonna be overly spicy. We're trying to pair it.
And if you guys want to join for that, I mean, you can join just for the brunch. That's $65 for the 3 courses and 3 wines. And then if you're doing it with yoga as well, you can do it for $85. If I'm right on that pricing. 85. So yeah, I mean, come out and join us for some yoga and brunch, or just some yoga, or just some brunch if you'd like. We have the reservations are open on the website under the event page of the website, and we hope to see you guys there. I mean, it's going to be a really fun one. We have 2 different menus for that as well, so it's not going to be the same menu every time.
Yeah, we're doing it every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks we change it up. Should be fun.
But if you're local, we are open right now. I mean, we've been having some killer weekends. It's been beautiful out here in Windsor. I'm just happy to see people here eating and drinking again.
Yeah, it's a great sight to see everyone back on the property and be open and be able to interact with everybody and
socially distant.
In a very socially distanced way. If you've been here, you know, but if you haven't, we have a lot of space. The property itself is 40 acres, very sprawling, spread out. Tables are not even close to each other. I feel very safe having people here. You see that? You see how it splashed?
I saw that.
And I did it away, so I'm safe. I have no burns.
all I need.
And you saved me too.
I know, I saved your life right there, man. You're welcome.
My pretty pouring hand.
We don't want to hurt those pretty pouring hands.
We don't.
We need those.
How else are we going to give it our Chardonnay?
Exactly.
So you can too if you have a deep fryer or an air fryer. I've seen people that you see you doing that. You're not listening to me. Man. You do it away from you, and you're doing. People are going to hurt themselves.
I mean,
Um,
I'm not sure.
what was I saying?
You're talking about air fryers and deep
Oh yeah,
fryers.
I've worked places where I've seen people do this in a fryer. I like a deep fat fryer. I like doing it in the pan. It's a little better. You get that crust a little better. Like it gets nice and perfectly golden brown, but then you're deep frying it. It's just, I don't know.
You do it in the air fryer and not get that oily, like you're talking about when you put it in a deep fat fryer. And it still is going to give you that crust. It's really good. I know you're against the air fryer.
I'm not against it. I just don't trust it.
I don't know why you don't trust it. I think it's great.
It's like llamas. You can't trust llamas either. My kids think that's the funniest thing.
Never heard that.
I don't trust llamas.
You can't trust llamas?
No, my daughter got me a llama coffee mug for my birthday as a joke. Because my daughter loves messing with me. She's only 8. And she's already like a teenager, I swear.
She's giving you a lot of trouble over there. I've been hearing the stories.
Yeah.
Hey, Patrick, I got a question.
Yeah, what's up?
If you use an air fryer, do you spray the cutlet with oil?
Nope. Keep the cutlet completely dry, throw it in the air fryer. I wouldn't even, no oil, no nothing. You'll do yourself wonders with it.
All right. I mean,
I just got one more. Mine are.
here, you want to do it in my phone? You want to pass it over?
Yeah, I love that. Teamwork makes the dream work.
I call your catchphrase.
Thank you. I've been working on them all week. I haven't done
Do you like?
I haven't done many virtuals, so I've been really saving them for this one.
We have
It's
another
good. We need you to
question.
carry it tonight.
Yeah.
I've had 4 virtuals this week.
What's your preferred non-stick pan?
I mean, I at home I really enjoy all clad. You're gonna pay a lot for it, but you get what you pay for.
Very good quality.
Yeah, I was talking like you can get the cheap ones. I've got a Teflon that has it's been pretty good.
They're not
But
bad.
my all clad has lasted me a lot longer. I mean, when it comes to pans, like in my experience, like all clad, I've worked at restaurants where we've had, opened a brand new restaurant, we had all clad, and it holds up. If you don't, like I've worked places where we had a pizza oven and we throw like meatball dish in the pizza oven in a pan, and the pan it wasn't a nice high quality, and it starts to warp, and you just
What about blue steel pan?
I am not familiar.
Never heard of blue steel pans. I use Teflon at home. I really enjoy Teflon pans. Doesn't hurt the bank and works out real well.
Yeah. This is a dish too. Like we're just serving it with a simple salad and a sauce tonight, but I think traditionally in Milan you would see this with risotto underneath it, maybe with some saffron. Saffron is really big over there in that region. Yeah,
rice pilaf.
Yeah, that would be great. When I was at Garibaldi's, we had this on the menu. It was very simple set. It was just mashed potatoes and broccoli, which I mean, very basic, but it's like comfort food, right?
Absolutely.
What pan are you using right now?
I honestly don't. Oh, these are bull wraps.
This is not a bowl wrap.
So bull wrap is a commercial grade. I don't know if you can get these like at. I mean, if you went to like a restaurant supply store, they probably have it. But these bull wraps, they have different levels. So they have an entry level, which is like it's got a blue handle that kind of comes on and off. You remember those? Those are fine. These are double walled, and so they last a little bit longer. Like we've had these for over a year now, and they've been great.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Cool. I think we're good. Ready to come back over and plate? Yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Oh my god.
Put our chicken. Oh, we got dressed salad. What do you think?
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't forget about the salad there, chef. Shallot.
How do you spell the pan that you were talking about?
Bull wrap. It's VOLLRATH. So for this, we're just doing a really simple arugula salad. Farmer Mikey brought this in from the garden this morning. Just beautiful arugula. It's a very simple salad. We're gonna put a little bit of salt. We're gonna give that a whisk one more time.
I got you, chef.
You want to move it a little bit? You might have a little extra dressing from this, so you just want to dress it enough. And when you dress it, you want to kind of don't dump it in the center. Kind of go around the outside of the bowl, and then you'll bring it all together. You don't want to overdress these greens. You just want to have it so you can still taste that, spice from that arugula. So let's see where we're at now. Just gently toss it to coat. I think arugula is one of my favorite ingredients.
I really like arugula, or like a spring mix kind of mustard greens. Really nice.
When my wife and I worked together, we had I was the chef de cuisine at Garibaldi's, and I really liked arugula, and she would make fun of me. And when we had our son, I wanted his middle name to be Arugula. And I think for his behalf, she did not let that go through, which I think is a good thing.
I would agree.
Jackie Arugula McAnally.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds catchy at first, but I feel like you'd go through a little bit of trouble.
I'd enjoy it, but
Kale.
Hey, Chef,
Kale.
someone asked, can we also add some herbs into the breadcrumbs?
Absolutely.
yeah, for sure.
Did you do fresh herbs or dry?
That's the time I might prefer dry.
I was gonna
I
say
think
I would
fresh,
say
you're gonna
dried
kill
would be
the
really
flavor
good.
of them. Dried herbs would probably be best. And with dried herbs, you don't want to do a ton. You want to put just a small pinch, so like maybe some dried thyme.
Yeah.
Would be nice in there. We're just saucing
Is
this.
there any other herbs you'd put in there?
Anything, whatever you're fancy.
Thyme,
dried
oregano,
oregano.
rosemary. I'd throw a little curry powder in there.
Oh wow.
Turmeric maybe. I'm getting
Peanut butter.
I would love some peanut butter in there too. Put that in the marinade and it would sweeten up this chicken really nicely.
You vegans and your peanut butter chicken.
Yeah, exactly.
So, there we have our
First
chicken
one,
Milanese.
chicken.
And this is, I can't wait to sit down and eat this and drink some more Chardonnay.
Chardonnay.
Perry says he's looking forward to the eggplant Milanese.
Love it.
Any other questions, guys, or comments, concerns?
Oh, look at Sharon's.
Sharon,
Ooh,
nice.
Yeah,
That's a great one,
beautiful.
Sharon. So yeah, like we were talking about earlier, guys, I mean, we are fully open here at the property. If you are local, want to come in and visit, our reservations are open. We are by reservation only right now. If you do want to make a same day visit, just give us a call and see if we have anything available. I'm sure we could accommodate and fit you in as well. We do have our Sip and Savor and our Roots menus available right now, and they will be changing next week. So definitely come by in the next couple of weeks and do the comparison of, the current menu and the new menu that's coming out.
Hey Philip, how's that sauce taste with the truffle? Are you there yet? Is it good?
Excellent. Very, very good.
Awesome,
Nice.
very good.
That and a bunch of butter, and can't go wrong.
Here's
That's
secret.
Question, do these reheat well or?
They do. What I would do if you weren't planning on eating all of them, I would just leave them breaded, and then just cook them. If you're gonna, rather than reheating it, I would just cook what you think you're gonna eat, and then just cook the other stuff fresh.
Yeah.
It does reheat fine, but it's better just to do it fresh. So just cook what you feel like eating, and they'll last in the fridge in that post breading, or even in the marinade still. They'll last for a few days.
Over.
Chris, do you have anything to tell anybody before we sign off or anything?
Not really. We kind of covered everything with tastings and
Dinner series,
dinner series
yoga
coming
and
up.
brunch.
I mean, I would say just come by the property and come see us. We love to see you guys. Every day, I would say, 5 days a week, lunch menu is amazing that we have. Our Sip and Savors are always amazing too. Best experience we possibly have. Just excited to see all the faces at the winery.
Yeah.
At some point,
Come see us.
For everyone that's cooked along too, make sure you take lots of photos of your dishes and tag us on Instagram and Facebook at Brickler Vineyards.
Next week's recipe.
Next week is Bubble and Squeak.
Oh, that's gonna be a fun one.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah,
one.
check that one out. That's a fun one. It's a recipe I didn't know until a couple years ago. It's a British dish, kind of leftover hash almost.
Yeah.
Like that's a fun one.
Poached egg over the top. It's gonna be a really good one. Make sure you guys check out our website on the events page for all of our events, the dinner series, yoga, and for our future in the kitchens as well. I mean, we've got the Bubble and Squeak next week. And then after that, we're switching over to Sunday nights, correct?
Yep.
To do Sunday night in the kitchens.
We got some guest chefs coming up. We got
Chris.
Chef Chris Richard joining us soon. Chef Jorge will be in here
He's
soon.
May 1st, making some empanadas. Chris is in April. He's coming up quick.
April 10th, I believe.
Yeah.
That's it. Well, thank you, everybody. This was a fun one.
Cheers, everybody.
See you all next week.